Hello everyone, my name is Micah, and in this video I want to journal with you. And it's something that I've never done before, I don't think. I want to try and draw my emotions. I'm going to use my newest fountain pen acquisition, which is the Pilot Custom Heritage, a 912 with a soft nib, and it's a 10 nib, so it's a pretty big nib, and it's so smooth. It's such a pleasure to draw with. Yeah, I've been really enjoying it. But yeah, I recently started a memory journal, which is the journal I'm working in right here. It's a Midori notebook, and I used to tell myself that not enough is happening in my life for me to keep a memory journal. I very much was journaling about my thoughts or quotes that I came across. There wasn't really much memory keeping unless there was some sort of big event, like a trip or a special day. For example, when on my birthday, I went to a cat cafe and really enjoyed that. So I journaled about that. So, yeah, there was the occasional memory keeping, but yeah, not really very much. And so I don't know when I started to realize that I had this misconception. I was telling myself that, yeah, not enough was happening in my life. But that would mean that a memory journal is only about events, big happenings, and that it can't be about anything else. And that, of course, isn't true. So I am trying to get myself into this mind space of, you know what? There's still things that I notice, like pretty flowers, or the way the light hits a corner in my apartment, or people that I meet or observe in the supermarket, as well as emotions that I'm feeling. Just small things happen every day that are part of my experience and therefore part of my memories, right? And so you are allowed to keep a memory journal about these things, right? And so that's what I'm doing. I am challenging myself to show up in my journal, in my memory journal, and say to myself that my small observations or my feelings or the things that I notice are worth recording, that yeah, my experience of the day to day, whether it be an event or not an event, is worth documenting. And with this journal spread that I'm working on right now, I challenged myself to draw what I was feeling. I figured that me trying to describe and visualize what I was feeling might even help me to dispel it, kind of like taking some of its power away. Because a lot of times, especially with negative emotions, or in this case, I just felt really ungrounded and really untethered that day. The vagueness is sort of the hard part, right? And so making it concrete and really even just naming the feeling gives you control, or at least I feel that way, gives you control about over it again. And so, yeah, I said to myself, well, I can draw that rather than write about it. I am more of a visual person most of the time, and with the feeling of ungroundedness, that was relatively easy to translate into this drawing of this girl, or, well, it's representing me, I guess, sort of floating just out of reach of her hobbies, of her, the journal and the paper bits and ephemera. That those are the things that usually help me to ground myself. It wasn't quite working that day, even though I must say that after this journal spread, I felt a lot better. And Yeah, let me know if you have those days where you can't seem to really get a hold of the day. It's sort of all swimmy. You kind of know what you want to accomplish, but nothing you try seems to quite get you there. Yeah, let me know if you know that feeling. In terms of the techniques, I knew that I wanted to, use a line drawing of these things, and then just have a more abstract background. And I've been meaning to work with my watercolors a little bit more, and usually the Midori paper takes watercolor beautifully. I mean, you can really throw a lot on there, I feel like. I think overall, looking back at it, or even looking at the recording now, I think it would have helped if the background wasn't quite as busy. I think the line drawing gets a little bit lost, the sort of fine line of it all is a little overpowered. So that's definitely something I want to work on. Maybe I could have smoothed the watercolor a little bit more rather than having it so splotchy. And again, here I'm going in with some colored pencil. These are the Derwent drawing pencils, and I love how creamy and smooth they are. And they come in these beautifully earthy colors. Or, well, I mean, this purple, for example, is not necessarily earthy, but there's some sort of mutedness to them without them being just all browns. I don't know if that makes any sense. But yeah, I'm trying to sort of bring a little bit of texture into it, as well as smooth over some gaps to make it more of a color area that's blending in a little bit more. And I think maybe I've also overdone it with the texture, but yeah, and I wish I had left a little bit more negative space around the writing, because it gets a little bit lost, which is why I'm going back in here and sort of underlining the writing, because it helps to tie it all in. And yeah, off camera, I did go over the lines one more time to thicken them up, and I toned down the color areas with a white colored pencil. And overall, I think this ties it all together a lot better. Yeah, I hope you found this video inspiring. Maybe it gave you some ideas of things to try. And if you aren't, maybe start a memory journal. I think you are worth it. Your story is worth documenting, whatever that may be. And yeah, until next time, happy journaling.